Ever wonder what really separates a good manager from a truly great leader? I mean, it's got to be more than just hitting targets, right? It's about inspiring real, lasting change. And today, we're going to dive into a style of leadership that does exactly that. It's all about transformation. You know, the leadership guru Warren Bennis just nailed it with this quote. He basically said a manager's job is to keep the trains running on time, administering things. But a leader innovates. They're the ones who step back and envision a completely new railway system. That's such a powerful way to think about it, right? It's the difference between managing what is and creating what could be. And that's the million-dollar question, isn't it? How do you actually make that leap, from just overseeing tasks to inspiring a whole movement? Well, the answer, or at least a big part of it, lies in a style called transformational leadership. Okay, so let's get into it. What does this new style actually look like? And I promise this isn't just a bunch of trendy buzzwords. We're talking about a really fundamental shift in how you think about guiding teams and, honestly, shaping the future of an entire organization. All right, here's the textbook definition, but let's break it down. At its heart, transformational leadership is all about engagement. It's this active process where a leader truly connects with their team to lift everyone's motivation. And the goal? To create real, tangible change, not just in the company's bottom line, but inside the people themselves. Now, to really get what makes this so different, it helps to put it side by side with a style most of us are probably used to, transactional leadership. Look at the left here. Transactional is pretty straightforward, right? It's an exchange. You do this job, and you get this reward. It's great for keeping things stable, for maintaining the status quo. But transformational leadership, over on the right, that's a totally different game. It's proactive. It's not about maintaining, it's about building a completely new future, all fueled by a vision everyone shares. Okay, so how does this all work in practice? Well, it really boils down to 4 key behaviors. They're famously known as the 4 I's, and we're going to break down each one. First up, we've got idealized influence. This is a fancy way of saying leaders act as role models. They walk the talk. This is about being the kind of person people genuinely want to follow because they are admired and trusted. They have integrity, and that builds this deep, unshakable foundation of trust. Next, there's inspirational motivation. A transformational leader is a storyteller. They can paint this incredibly compelling picture of the future. And it's not just some mission statement hanging on a wall, It's a vision that gets everyone excited and makes them feel like they're part of something way bigger than just their day-to-day tasks. The third I is individualized consideration. This is where the leader really shows they care. They act like a coach or a mentor. They don't see their team as just a group. They see individuals, each with their own unique needs, feelings, and potential. They listen, they support, and they actually invest in helping each person grow. And last but definitely not least, we have intellectual stimulation. And this one is huge. Transformational leaders don't want a team of yes men. They want people to think. They challenge assumptions, they encourage creativity, and they invite everyone to question the way things have always been done. It's all about creating a safe space to innovate. So, okay, these 4 I's sound pretty great in theory, right? But the big question is, does this stuff actually work in the real world? Well, the research is crystal clear. Yes, it absolutely does. Let's take a look at the impact. I mean, just look at a super high-stakes environment like healthcare. Research in nursing shows that when leaders use this transformational approach, job satisfaction goes way up, staff are much more likely to stick around, and, this is the most critical part, the quality of patient care improves. And that just makes sense, doesn't it? When people feel inspired, supported, and challenged in a good way, they do their best work. We're not just talking about numbers on a chart here. We're talking about life-changing outcomes. And this isn't just some fluke in the healthcare field. Check out this data. It compares how effective transformational leadership is versus transactional leadership across both public and private sectors. I mean, the difference is just, wow, look at those correlation numbers. Transformational leadership scores a 0.74 in the public sector and a 0.69 in private. It's just a consistently more powerful and effective approach no matter what industry you're in. So here's the really crucial takeaway from all this. This isn't some magic quality that you're either born with or you're not. Not at all. Transformational leadership is actually built on a set of skills that anyone, and I mean anyone, can learn and develop. So let's dive into 5 of the most important ones. All right, so if you want to build these skills, where do you start? Well, according to researchers, it all begins with building trust and acting with integrity. That's your foundation. From there, you focus on genuinely encouraging others, fostering innovative thinking, so thinking outside the box, and then actively coaching your people. These are all like muscles, you know? The more you practice, the stronger they get. And what's so powerful about all this is that these aren't some brand new revolutionary ideas. We can actually see these principles playing out all through history. When you look at analyses of ancient leaders, like Moses, you see a really similar model. It's often called servant leadership, but the core idea is exactly the same. The leader puts the needs of their people and their shared mission first. It's this timeless reminder that great leadership has always been about lifting others up. Okay, so all of this, it brings us to one final, really critical idea, and that's the legacy you leave behind as a leader. You know, if there's one thing I want you to walk away with, it's this. Transformational leadership, when you boil it all down, isn't about projects or profits or quarterly reports. It's about people. It's about seeing that spark of potential in someone and then creating the environment for it to just flourish. So the final question I want to leave you with is not what will you accomplish? Instead, I want you to ask, what will you build in others? Because that is the true measure of a transformational leader. And that's the most powerful legacy any of us can leave behind.